Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Defining Consciousness. For the next 4 weeks, we're going to speak about the connection between the 10 Sefirot, the 10 realms of consciousness, the 10 levels of connecting to the light of the Creator, revealing the light in our life, and their corresponding sequences or combination out of the 72 name and how it's connected. Let's start. So this session, we're going to speak about what's the importance of knowing about the Sefirot. What's the connection of us with the Sefirah? What does it mean, Sefirah in Hebrew, in our spiritual work? We're going to start with our first section of the Zohar from the portion of Bo. From the portion of Bo, which is verse 222. And let's read the Aramaic, and let's read the translation in Hebrew, and in English, and we'll understand much more. So verse 222. אחי עילת העילות עבד 10 ספירות, וקרא לכתר מקור, ובייה לת סוף לנביהו דנהורה, ובגינדה קרא לגרמיה אין סוף, ולת ליה דמות וצורה, ותמן ליה לת מנה למתפס ליה, למינדה ביה ידיעה כלל, ובגינדה אמרו ביה במופלא ממך, אל תדרוש, ובמכוסה ממך אל תחקור. So let's start reading what does it mean. So the cause of causes made 10 Sefirot and called Keter the source, and there is no end to the welling of its light. Therefore he called himself endlessness, and he has no likeness or image. There is no vessel there able to conceive him or have any knowledge of him at all. Therefore, it has been said of him, do not seek that which is inconceivable to you, nor search that which is hidden from you. Okay? So let's start to understand what does it mean in related to the Sefirot, to the realms. Okay? When it's mentioned here in the verse Keter, Keter is the level, and we soon going to see the chart or the structure of the 10 Sefirot. The Keter is the realm that is closest to the light, to the endless. But let's understand what does it mean and how it's related for us, the Sefirot. Here you see the structure, you see the diagram, and I'm going to go through it one by one. You see the 10 circles. Each circle, we call it the realm, or we call it the Sefirah. And the 10 level of consciousness that starts from the highest level, which is Keter, as we mentioned earlier. Keter relates to the crown. Keter is the crown, like the king that has the crown. It's the closest to the light. It's as closest with its attribute, with a connection to the endless. Again, so it's 10 level of transformation, 10 levels of consciousness, 10 level of transformations of the light of the Creator, flowing from the endless Keter to the lowest level, which is Malchut, as you can see here in the chart. And we can see, so the Sefirot called, the names are Keter, you have Chokhmah, you have Binah, you have Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod. The Keter correspond, as I said earlier, to crown. And as you can see here, Chokhmah considered to be the wisdom. Binah is the understanding. There's another level of consciousness of understanding the light in a higher form. Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod are 6 realms that have a collective name that it's called Zeir and Pin. And each one of them will, and don't worry, for the next 4 sessions, we'll go on by each one of the Sefirot. We'll explain about each one of them, how we can connect to it, how we can tap into it with the way we behave, the way we think, the way we transform our belief systems, okay, with the help of the 72 name. And we have the world of Malchut, the realm of Malchut. This is the realm of kingdom. This is the realm where we live. So why is it so important to have Sefirot? I'm sure that when you scan the Zohar, when you read the Zohar, it comes to you when the word Sefirah, or one of the words that we mentioned here about the levels. Why is it so important to know about the Sefirah? The metaphysical structure of the world, we cannot see. Kabbalistically, everything consists of this 10 level of consciousness, 10 levels of energies. Why? Why is it cannot be the endless and us? Why it cannot be good and us? What is the importance of it? So, as we just read in the section from Bo, there is no vessel actually that can handle the Sefirot. What we came here to do in this world, in the physical body, is to go through a process of elevation and transformation of our consciousness from the lowest consciousness level to the highest consciousness level. We cannot comprehend or understand the endless. This is what the Zohar is saying, because it's infinite force. And we live in a physical body. Okay, so the Creator, the beauty, the light, created a system that each one of us can gradually climb in the ladder of transformation on the ladder of consciousness, from the lowest level towards the endless, towards the highest level. Our soul, and our goal, basically, our goal is to connect with our soul, to elevate from one level to another, using, as the Rav Ashlag is mentioning, the filter. The filter. If the endless is the white, purest light, let's say from the light bulb, right? So there are little glasses that are kind of used as being a filter to support us to grasp the essence of the light, by preventing us from being blinded by the light itself, by the enormous power of the light. So each of the Sefirah, each of this realm, and in Hebrew we can see Sefirah. Sefirah comes from the two interpretations, okay? Two interpretations. For example, Sefirah is sapphire, okay? Sefirah is sapphire, and it's like the stone, sapphire. It's like the stone is shining. The stone is shining on each one of us, and you see, Sefirah is also sfar, which is sfar in Hebrew, which means is limit, is filtering. So in one hand, we are blocking and filtering. So there's an aspect of the light, okay, from the highest realm, and channeling and transforming another aspect of the light. As we go from the lower Sefirah, we can have, in the lower Sefirah, we can have the thickest filter, thick limit, and less shining of the light. Okay, so Sefirah can be sapphire, the stone shining, or there is a limit, there is a thickness, there is a filter that it's creating, like which is like, for example, in Malchut, which is the lower levels, when the filter is thicker, therefore, which is, by its nature, by practicing true transformation, we can reduce, we can actually receive more connection, more energy of the light. So in the metaphysical energy of love, of giving, of central column, we talk about the metaphysical world. For us to experience the light, we need to access different aspects of the light. Okay? So I will go back into the structure that I just shared with you, so you can understand what we're talking about. So for us, again, to experience the light, we need to have access different aspects of this light, different aspects from this realm. So the Sefirot basically represent the different aspects of the light. Okay? So for us to grow spiritually, is to climb and connect to the different realms, to the different aspects of the light, even though the source of the light is one. So as we learn from the Zohar, and as we know through the different books that we are reading, every time that we read or scan or mention one of the words of the Sefirah, for example, Keter, Chesed, Netzach, Hod, whenever we mention in that, is as it says in the Zohar that it's automatically, even using this word or scanning the word or reading the words, we're already connecting to that realm, to the energy that of the light that each of the realm is giving us. And as we go through the realms, we can see that each of the realms, each of the Sefirot connect to one of the chariots. One of the chariots that through them emanating the energy of that particular realm. So we can see that Chesed correspond, or the chariot that represent this energy in our life, in our metaphysical realm, is Avraham Avinu, Abraham the patriarch. Gevurah, channeled by the energy of Isaac. Tiferet is connected to Jacob, the balance, the connection of Jacob. And of course, as I mentioned before, we'll go one by one. Don't worry, we'll see how it's all connected with us and how we can tap into those energies even further. Netzach is the realm, is the Sefirah that connecting us through Moses, that we connect through Moses. Hod is the energy that comes from Aaron. Yesod, Aaron the high priest. Yesod come from Joseph the righteous. And Malchut connects to King David. And we want to see again additional information. There are 5 spiritual worlds that also correspond with the tree of life. So we can see the first world, it's called Adam HaKadmon, which is the primordial man, which correspond with Keter. The world of Atzilut is the emanation, correspond with Chokhmah. Bria is the world of creation, Bina. Yetzirah, its formation, which is connected to Zeir Anpin, and as I mentioned earlier, Zeir Anpin includes within it the 6 realms from Chesed to Yesod. And Asiyah is action, connect to Malchut. In each of the worlds, as we can see that, there is a perception of reality, each one of them consists 10 Sefirot as well, 10 realms as well. So there are 5 worlds. There are 5 worlds divided into, as we see here, 5 Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, Zeir Anpin, and Malchut. When we connect to Zeir Anpin, when we talk about Zeir Anpin, we mentioned that it's included within Zeir Anpin those six realms. Zeir Anpin basically is considered to be the connection or the bridge or the channel or the conduit between the light and the vessel. I feel that I need to show you again during this particular session the connection, the structure. So I'm going to show you again the structure as I speak. Zeir Anpin, as you can see here in this chart, Zeir Anpin is the conduit, is the channel, is the bridge between the light and the vessel. The light is connected to the upper, being in the highest form, connect to the upper realms, upper 3 Sefirot, which is Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, and the vessel, which is Malchut. All our spiritual work is to learn how to access and connect to Zeir Anpin. If we look at the Zeir Anpin, the three realms of Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, as you can see here in the structure, it's the aspect that connects us to the light. And the lower 3 of Zeir Anpin, which is Netzach, Hod, Yesod, it's the lower aspect of Zeir Anpin that connects us to the vessel. the question that we always ask ourselves, where is Satan? Where is the evil inclination sits? Where do you think normally he may sit? As we learn, normally the Satan will sit between Zeir and Pin to Malchut. If you can see the red kind of like line between the realm of Yesod, which is the lower realm of Zeir and Pin to Malchut, right over there. Why? He's like preventing us from connecting from our realm of Malchut. Always, he sits always there to lefetach chatat rovetz, he says in the Zohar, like on the opening gate to connect us to the metaphysical world. He just sits there to prevent us from elevating our consciousness in any way. This is why in the realm of Malchut, where we live in, we have constantly this internal battle of overcoming different fears, anger, different reaction, different belief system, identifying and overcoming them and grow gradually, is there constantly to make us remain in the same realm of Malchut constantly. By using the Kabbalistic tools, unifying our world of Malchut and Zeir and Pin, this is the purpose. This is the work that we're here to do. And this connection shows that we are completely in what we say in our desire for the self alone. So to turn on to the light, the electrical switch is between the Malchut to Zeir and Pin. And our job is to overcome Satan. Our job is to overcome our ego. Our job is to overcome the desire for the self alone. This is basically our job. Okay? So how are we doing it? How are we basically doing it? So as I mentioned, each realm connects to a chariot. They are unique channel. Each of the chariot are unique channel to access these levels. They're elevated and they're supporting us, elevating ourselves to each level of the Sefirot in order to activate the Sefirot in our life. And now let's connect to understand more with each of the realms, each of the section of the levels of the Sefirot, with a connection to the 72 name and to the chariot. And we can learn more about this in a beautiful section that is mentioned in the portion of Be'alotcha. But before I want to go there, I want just to have a little recap about the 72 name. I gave in the past seminar of the 72 name. You can all watch it on Kabbalah.com. Just a small recap about the 72 name. So we know that there is a tremendous power to the Hebrew alphabet. The Hebrew alphabet, in Hebrew it's called Ivrit. Ivrit comes from the word la'avor, which is to move or to pass on, to pass from one level to another. In supporting us in the climbing of the ladder of the Sefirot, in the 10th level of consciousness, as we would like to climb further and further to the highest realm in our connection to the light. And when we say that our connection to the light is really to feel the presence of the light in everything that exists in our life. That the way we behave, the way we act, the way we walk, the way we be is an exact emanation of the light. That the light will shine through us. That everything that exists in our life, we want to reach to a level of consciousness, of certainty, that everything that is taking place in our life is for our benefit, to the best of us growing, to our benefit, to the goodness, to see that everything that exists in our life is exactly the way it's supposed to be. Imagine if all of us, or at least some of us, will reach this consciousness that everything is for the best. That we understand that every challenge, every person that is coming and trigger us and push our buttons is right there, sent to us to help us to grow. And when we understand that, and when we're not putting our feeling into getting angry and too caught up into the situation, and we watch from above, we elevate, we understand that how it's supporting our correction. I'm not saying to deny the feelings or not to pay attention to them, but not to fall into them, okay? So with that, understanding that they're supporting of the letters, the Hebrew letters, which are the DNA of our soul, there are 22 Hebrew letters, the power of creation, that's supporting us. And with those Hebrew letters, there is a way that this chart that you see right now of the 72 name has been created, and how it has been formatted, how we have the 72 combinations, that each combination contains 3 of the Hebrew letters, that each of the combination is a vibration of energy that allow us to connect to let's say an attribute of the Creator that we want to attract into our life. And of course we all know it's coming from this information start and coming from the book of formation by Abraham. And then he's mentioning here, what it says here in Hebrew is basically this particular kind of a translation. So the sequence of the 72 names are rolling and combining in various ways, always in a sequence of 3 letters. They tell the secret of the universe, the secret of human being. By using them, one can gain the light of the Shekhinah. So when we connect to this, chart of the 72 name, we want to make sure that we come in with the right intention, because the light of the Shekhinah, the light is dwelling upon us. And again, just in a very short, how this chart was formed, in the portion of Beshalach, the 3 sentences that explaining literally what took place with the Israelites when they left Egypt from salvation to redemption. Moses took them out from slavery to walking towards Mount Sinai into their journey of getting into the land of Israel. And as they walk into the desert, leaving Egypt, Pharaoh, the king that released them, had a change of heart and says, how come I released them? No, I'm going to go and catch them and actually going to kill them. So he took all his soldiers and ran after them. As the Israelites are walking, they reaching a point where there is a sea in front of them. So there's the sea in front of them, they're looking behind them, and they see the Pharaoh and his soldiers behind them, and they're stuck. They don't know what to do. Either way, they're going to be killed according to their perception, or by Pharaoh and his soldiers, or drown in the sea. And they're shouting to the Creator. And the Creator is answering them, Matitzak Elai, why are you shouting to me? Use the tools that you have. Moses, you and the Israelites, use the tools that you have. You already know the information. You already have the tools. You've been created miracles so much. Create your own. This was the first time in history that the revelation of the 72 name has been revealed to humanity. Moses and the Israelites used the 72 name. They used the 72 name, and by using them, they literally were able to create something that's called mind over matter. They created their miracle, which is called, that we all know about, the departing of the sea. As they departed the sea, of course, they won. And for us, what we can see about, what we learn about this tool, it's like so profound, is that whenever we reach time that we are in a place of, that we feel that we are stuck, wherever we are placed, that we feel that we do not have the answer, we need to use different tool than what we already know, right? And one of the spiritual tools that are being given to each one of us in a Kabbalistic way, it's been revealed to us through the Zohar, and the Rav Berg brought this information to all of us, is to use this chart. You can scan this, you can use one of the combinations to support you to create a certain miracle within your life. Create a miracle is to create, in our perception, an illogical reality. And again, if you want to know more about the 72 name, you can watch my 3-part seminar about the 72 name to know more than what just I shared. So this was a brief about the 72 name. How all of this connect with the 10 Sefirot, with the 10 realms of consciousness. How we can get the support of the 72 names to give us indication, help, how we can transform the way we behave or maybe think or our consciousness to connect to each of the realms. Let's learn more about this in the section that I'm bringing it to you from the portion of Be'alotcha. So in the portion of Be'alotcha, we look here right now in verse 42, but I must say that as I came to this, to give you this class right now, I wanted to go a little bit to see the whole article. So I wanted to recommend to all of you to read the article of from the portion of Be'alotcha about the name of the 72 name. It starts from verse 33 and on. And what Rabbi Abba, which is a student of Rabbi Shimon, wrote in this verse, is talking about those 3 sentences I just showed you, 3 verses from the portion of Be'alotcha. And it's talking about those verses that in each of the verses relate to the patriarch. Each of the verses relate to the patriarch that I just mentioned to you before: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, and Joseph and Aaron. Okay, so it's mentioned here that basically the task of the construction of the holy name is made known through the uniting of the patriarch. The ways to judgment, to mercy, to help kindness, to awe, to Torah, to life, to death, to good and to bad are found within this 72 name. So let's read from this section of 42 together, and we'll see how it can really give us the information that we're here to learn. So it's mentioned here: behold the patriarch in their travels, in deeds to raise female water and etc. In each name of this 72 name, all the patriarchs are bound together. Since there are 3 columns. When they join together, there is nobody who can stand up to them. We have learned that wherever the patriarchs are, we also find with them the rest of the righteous, such as Moses, Aaron, and Joseph. Therefore, this name of 72 goes indifferently explained in ways, although the explanation have a similar outcome. What does it mean? What does it mean when we talk about the patriarch and the 72 names? As we move forward in the article, we can see that when we look at the chart of the 72 name, when it's 72 combination, it mentioned in Be'alotcha that every 7 sets of combination connect to a particular realm of the Sefirah. It's called kesher in Hebrew, and it's called knot. Okay, the knots. Every 7 create a knot that correspond with a realm, with a Sefirah. And today I wanted to start speaking with you about the 3 realms that coming from the Zeir Anpin, from the highest level of Zeir Anpin that connect us to the light, which are Chesed, Gevurah, and Tiferet. So let's learn about the realm of Chesed and the 72 names that correspond to them. Okay? Chesed. Chesed basically has come from, it's a unique realm, because Chesed in Hebrew in English is mercy. And the channel that represents Chesed, that brings the energy of Chesed to the world, is Abraham the patriarch. And in this level, through the energy of Abraham, through the energy of that we will see about the 72 names, we can connect to mercy. It's we know that in the 7 days of creation, the first day of creation, Sunday, it's in Hebrew Yom Rishon, it's not mentioned as Yom Rishon or Sunday. It's called Yom Echad, one day, because the first day, Yom Echad, is day one. It represents the harmony. It represents unity. It represents oneness. It represents love. It represents one. One in Hebrew, Echad, numerical value 13, is the same numerical value of Ahava, which is love. And Abraham, the patriarch, Avraham Avinu, is as he's representing in his channel of this realm of mercy, this realm of chesed, went through 10 tests, which each test represent a level of connection for us, of love. And, there are two specific type of mercy in our life. There is chesed, which is mercy between us to another person, and there is chesed, mercy between us to the Creator. So there are two aspects of chesed. And Abraham represent kindness, represent closer, represent caring, represent human dignity, which is all about mercy, representing he's awakening chesed in our life. And when I talked about the 7 days of creation, even the 7 days of creation correspond each one of them to each one to one of the realm or the Sefirot of Zeir Anpin. Okay? So just by talking about the realm of Chesed, I want to ask ourselves, maybe we can raise this question among us, is how much am I in loving? How much am I caring in our life? How much am I accepting life in this moment? That, am I embracing today? It's a question that we want to ask ourselves, am I embracing today regardless of what is taking place in my life? Chesed, also in Hebrew, is a numerical value, 72, which is really about connecting us to the whole completion of dwelling of the light of the Creator in us. And, we are looking forward for experiencing life, and we're chasing love of the Creator, to the Creator. We love in the moment, we love in the Creator. This is connection to Chesed. But it's also about loving myself. Loving myself as I trust the light, as I have a certainty with the light of the Creator, with all my limitation. This is how we connect to the realm of Chesed. And I want to share with you the 72 name, the knots from the 72 name, the 7 combination that correspond with the energy of Chesed. So let's look at this. So I have in front of me the chart of the 72 name because I want to look into it and to go over this with you. So the names that relate to Chesed, that support us by our action, by our thought, into connecting to this realm from the 72 name as follow. Is the first, it starts with the first combination of Yud, Yud, Yud. Yud, 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 if we look at the book, the application, the cards, probably each one of you has that explain about the 72 name. They have, the translation for it is stopping fatal attraction. Also, Yud, Yud, Yud is the initial of the blessings of the high priest. So what does it mean for us when we want to connect to the light of mercy? Well, let's talk about the priest that we have within us. The connection of the priest, was the image, was the person that was a true channel of the light of the Creator, was there to support and help and heal everyone that came to him and asked for it. So in our life, let's ask ourselves, together with this Yud, Yud, Yud combination of the 72 name, how am I being the channel of the light in my life today and in general? How am I impacting? How am I being of a service to other people? Being of a service to other people, connecting us to the light of mercy, to connecting us to the light of this realm of Chesed. Additional combination, as we can see follow, is in Hebrew, Mem Lamed Hey, which is sharing the flame, is our word, is with the power of our word. How we use in our words in a way that we can lift up people, how we can use our word with kindness, with love that we share with people, rather using our words maybe to be of a critical person or putting persons down or even gossiping. Whether we use it as a gossiping, we're obviously disconnecting from the realm of chesed. When we use the words in a way that we're lifting up people, when we share words that can really impact in such a way that can enlighten other people, we connect to the light of mercy. When we move to Chet Hei Vav, Chet Hei Vav correspond to the energy of jealousy. There, again, two sides. There's like two sides to the coin, right? So there are two sides to each of the 72 names. So when we look at Chet Hei Vav, which is jealousy, there are two types of jealousy. There is a jealousy that it's really about, it's called Kinat Sofrim. When I see role models, when I see attributes in people, characteristic in people that I would love to have in my life. So they're inspiring me to grow, to reach that in my life, to become a better version of myself. This is what's called a good jealousy. Because originally the world was created with jealousy. What was the jealousy? That the vessel wanted to be like the light. Because the light, as the creator, created, and its essence is to share. The vessel wanted to be like the light of the creator, to share, to give. They want to receive. This is what formed actually the 10 worlds that we saw, the 10 Sefirot. This is what formed that. Because the light of the creator says, of course, I'm here to fulfill your desires. I'm here to fulfill anything that you ask for. So if you would like to be like me, I'm going to create a world where you can be like me. And the world that we live in, the world of Malchut, which we're going to speak in one of our sessions, is the world that is given to each one of us to exercise the ability and of the light of the creator within us. To be like attract like, to be like the light in our world. Okay, so jealousy, the other side of jealousy can bring destruction. And Karen Berg used to say once, the punishment of a person that is jealous, it's his own jealousy. Because we desire something that does not belong to us. The next combination that connects to Chesed is Nun Taf Hei. Speak your mind. And actually, when we share, let's say, if we're being hurt, when we share our feeling in kindness, and not getting hurt. Because the opposite of it is like sometimes when a person, when a person is putting a screen on himself and like a different face, like when he's being hurt, is like he's separating himself from the other person. Nun Taf Hei is constantly being in a united version of you with your surrounding, not to separate yourself because someone said the wrong word according to your perception. How can I still accept other person's opinion while it's different from my own opinion? Okay, we're moving forward to Hey Aleph Aleph, which is as the translation is order from chaos. The idea about order from chaos is like whenever we are in a place where we are that don't have any clarity in our mind, when we have maybe confusion or some sort of a doubt, it's like really for us to see that in order within this mess, probably according again to our perception, there's a perfect order that it's right there for us that exists in our life from the light. That we're here to learn, that we're here to elevate. It's connecting us to the energy of mercy. We're moving forward to Yud Resh Taf, which Yud Resh Taf is the silent partner. In order to be like the light, is to remember that our partner is the light of the Creator. Our partner is right there in every action that we do, and is our silent partner. The last combination of the 72 names that relate to the realm of Chesed is Shin Aleph Hey. Shin Aleph Hey is the ultimate unification of the soul, of the female aspect and the male aspect. I know everyone knows it by soulmate, but when it's come to us when we connect in our body with our soul desire, and when we work in our desire to the self alone in order to be desire of sharing, which is mercy, right? Why Abraham is the energy of Chesed? Because it says on him that his house had 4 openings, that everyone that comes from each direction is welcome to come to my house, because he wanted to serve them and to be there for them and to teach them and guide them. Okay, so this is basically what's the energy of mercy. Okay, so we're moving forward. Just to understand one more thing about the energy of mercy is also it's the energy of the water. Water is also mercy. It's like it's against gravitation. It's flowing as against gravitation. Water is all the power of cleansing. It's really about cleansing. As I shared earlier, one aspect is like when we speak about our intention. Okay, when we speak about our intention, when we come in from the right place. We're moving forward to the next realm of today, which is the realm of Gevurah, is one of the 3 again of the upper connection of Zeir and Pin. Gevurah comes from the word Gibor, which is Gibor is someone in Hebrew like has a motivation and courage. So the realm of Gevurah connects us to really when a person has this desire to create, desire to receive, but in the sake of sharing. It's connected to a left column energy. As you know, we have the right column, left column, central column. Right column is Chesed, left column is Gevurah. It's really about the motivation. Courage is about energy. It's fire. It's passion. It's healthy fire. It's to overcome fears. It's to overcome any challenge and the desire always to move to the next level. Does the Creator give us everything we ask for? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, right? Sometimes a person needs boundaries, do the work, and you earn, right? Sometimes, we don't receive the blessing that we pray for, like in mercy, everything is, we need to make an effort. Sometimes the light brings us the blessing that not what we want, but what we need, okay? Gevurah is about structure. Gevurah is about structure. Gevurah, also known as din, another word for Gevurah is din, is judgment. And, the fact that I am, like we are reflecting on the way we behave, we are reflecting what we need to change in our life. This is like a good judgment that we do in our life. Rav Ashlag is mentioned in one of his lessons that 95% of a person's day needs to be in Chesed, in action and consciousness of Chesed. Only 5% of our day need to designate to time to reflect what is that I need to improve. Only 5%. So this can be a good judgment, not on the contrary, on the opposite, like judging people or ourselves and being some sort of a denial or running away from, right? When there is imbalance in Gevurah, okay? So it's not about that when it's related to judgment. I want to read from the Kabbalistic method of the Rav about this realm of Gevurah, of judgment, which is the realm that represents the negative pole of Zeir and Pin, like again the left column, and again the energy of Gevurah comes and emanates from Isaac, Yitzchak, okay, and it's the power of din, not in a sense of punishment, rather but by the action that is the results of the action that comes when we activate the desire for the self alone without removing the bread of shame. Okay, so this is the energy of Gevurah. And what are the 72 name combination, the 7 of this combination that correspond with, and they can support us in connecting to the realm of Gevurah. Okay, so let's see. So the first sequence, as it's mentioned in the Zohar, in Baalotcha, in the sections that I shared with you earlier, you can continue reading and see that how it's mentioned there. So the first combination is Resh Yud Yud, which is known as removing hatred. So we're talking about Gevurah, we're talking about the left column, we're talking about our desire. And when it's talking about removing hatred, opposite of removing hatred is literally connecting to self-love, right? So when we not judging ourselves, rather reflect on what is that we need to improve, help us. This sequence help us to connect more of loving ourselves, more of connecting to the positive realm of judgment, okay? And moving forward to the next one is Aleph Vav Mem, which is building the bridge. Is again, Gevurah, just remind you, it's Zeir Anpin, which is the bridge between the light and the vessel. And constantly in our spiritual work, we want to connect between our vessel to the light. And Aleph Vav Mem connect us through the realm of Gevurah, overcoming our fear, overcoming different challenges. We're bridging between the vessel to the light. Lamed Kav Bet, the interpretation of Lamed Kav Bet is finish what you started. It's interesting. It's related to, give you an example. When you have things that, 10 things to do in your list, and I have a to-do list, right? And often what we do is that we go into maybe to the 8 items that I have on my list that are easy and quick to do, and we are doing it, and this is what is becoming consuming our day. And often I would like to know from you more, and please share with me. Often we have 1 or 2 things out of our list that we say, it's okay, let's leave it for tomorrow. No big deal, I just wanted to relax, I have other things to do. Let's leave those 2 items for tomorrow. What happened? We're creating a space. And the space, halal in Hebrew, the space can be filled. It's like a vessel. It can be filled or with light or with darkness. So when we have a space and we're not manifesting the idea into bringing it into manifestation, we create a space. Therefore, the space might bring into our life more of procrastination attributes, more even laziness. Okay? So with this Lamed Kav Bet, help us and support us to shorten the space, that we will not have judgment upon us, that we will not judge ourselves while we're not finishing what we started. Vav Shin Resh, I know that in the interpretation of the book it's about memories, but Vav Shin Resh, it's really also connecting us to nostalgic, to the past. And sometimes when we are stuck in the past, we're not in the present of life. We're not experiencing the life in its fullest because we are concerned about what took place in the past. Maybe we feel some guilt, or we want to change things in the past. Therefore, we are concerned about what will be in the future, and we're missing us the present. When we are in both sides of being in the past and the future, we are in our left column. When we are not present, we do not have courage. We do not have motivation to continue and activating the light within us. Okay, so it helps us to be in the present and connect. Yochai Vav is revealing the dark side. Again, it's the power of reflection of what is that I need to improve, rather than beating myself up of being XYZ. Lamed Hei Chet is in the interpretation that we have, again, it's forget thyself. And it's not really about forgetting who you are. It's mainly to be in a place where you let go of your ego, that it may guide in you, may rule you, may control your life, and connect back to humbleness, to the place where you act with no ego or less ego. Okay? Kav Vav Kuf always makes other people laugh when we talk about it. because it's kind of triggering, and it's about the interpretation is about sexual energy. But when we talk about sexual energy, is literally we're talking about unification, right? We talk about unification again of the female and the male aspect. We're talking about even manifestation from ideas to actual. So it's actually with this name is continuous supporting us with our desire of manifestation, desire of connecting, even bringing children into the world. We cannot do it without the realm of Gevurah. Okay, beautiful. So now we're moving to our third combination today, a third realm, I'm sorry. And we spoke about Keter, we spoke about Chesed, which is water, and energy of water, energy of mercy, energy of goodness, energy of going with the flow, energy of like sharing and being there as impact as Abraham. We spoke about Gevurah, which connects us to fire. Even the color red is so vibrant in this realm. It's talking about motivation and desire and excitement. And we're going into the third realm, which is Tiferet. Tiferet is the balance. It's the balance between Abraham to Isaac. Abraham and Isaac, we have Jacob. You know, in the time of binding of Isaac, he was connected. In the time of binding of the Isaac, so we have the left column connected with Abraham, the right column. All this action, this test for Abraham and the test for Isaac was only to bring the energy of Jacob into the world. And the energy of Jacob is combination between mercy and judgment. It's bring the balance. And by the way, and the name of this realm is Tiferet. And sometimes actually you may read in the Zohar the word Tiferet can refer to as also Zeir and Pin, but again it depends what's the connotation, so you will know if it's referred to Zeir and Pin as a whole or if it's referred to the realm of Tiferet. I just wanted to add that. So Tiferet is a central column. It's the ability to pause, to restrict, and when you restrict, you receive back the central column, the power of transformation, and to connect again to the energy of Jacob, to connect to the energy of balance, to combine both energies of Abraham and Isaac. And you know, Jacob, it was mentioned on him that he was Ish Tamim, which is Tamim is simple, just really being simple. One of the things that Karen Berg used to always say, the lights are simple, therefore the answers are simple. Okay, so being simple, being truthful, it's part of basically of the journey that Jacob had to go through to how to balance the energies between Gevurah and mercy and Chesed. You know, every short circuit that we create in our life, it's engraved in our body. And if we are not going to create a balanced energy, let's say there is anger, okay? So anger represents immediate gratification. The immediate, the plus and the minus is connecting and basically it's connecting and actually creating a shortcut when there's this anger of, okay? So if we want to create the balance of energy, we want to create those balance of energy, we need to apply the power of restriction. And the judgment that has been created reveals light instead. So the idea of Tiferet, the idea of this realm of balance of Tiferet, is that a feeding of the klipot by direct light without applying restriction. It's not what we want to do. So applying the force of restriction we're able to connect us to the realm of Tiferet. And in order to connect to his strength, actually, Jacob had, for example, to be 22 years in a place of chaos, in a place of difficulties, but he was true to himself. He never lost himself. And he constantly applied the power of restriction. Tiferet also in Hebrew represents the beauty, okay? So it's activation of beauty. And again, when there's balance, it's all beautiful, right? So we would like to know more about the realms of Tiferet in the connotation and the how the 72 names here, the 7 of the combination that relates to Tiferet. As you watch that, I want to read again from the Kabbalistic method by the Rav about the realm of Tiferet, so we can connect to Rav. Because the Rav wrote about Ish Tam that I've just mentioned earlier, that the word in Hebrew Tam means also completion, being a whole, okay? And it's representing, it's like indicating that Jacob is here, he came to the world to complete the 3-column system, the right column, the left column, and the central column. Therefore, we know that Jacob later on were called, his name has changed to Israel, which is going to be the father of the 12 tribes. And those 12 tribes in their time represent the way they correspond to the 12 signs of the zodiac, which controls our world. And it's another example the Rav is writing here that of the completion of the perfection that connects to Jacob. And as you can see in this slide about the 7 combination of the 72 names that relate to the realm of Tiferet. So we continue in, and it's Vav, Vav, Lamed. Vav, Vav, Lamed is talking about defining gravity. But when we talk about defining gravity, it's like we want to know, when we balance in the 2 parts of mercy and judgment, when we, when parents, as a parent, you can really be all loving, or you can be all with boundaries. The idea is how we can be sometimes all loving, and how we can put boundaries with our kids with a loving way. How we can share and speak with people to explain them maybe what the thing that they need to improve in their life if we're in that position, with a kindness, with love. So how we balance in all of it is together with Vav, Vav, Lamed. Okay, we move into Yud Lamed Hey. Yud Lamed Hey, sweetening the judgment. Sweetening the judgment is really supporting us with transforming bitter to sweet, transforming darkness to light. How we do that? Balancing the 2 realms, right? Balancing Chesed and mercy. How we do it practically? How we transforming darkness to light is when we understand that whatever is taking place in our life is the exact thing that I need right now in order to excel, in order to move to my next level. Jacob has never complained about these 22 years that he lived in chaotic life, because he ended up going out with a lot of sustenance, a lot of wealth, wives and children out of those 22 years, okay? And he went into Samech Aleph Lamed, that brought him, Samech Lamed Aleph is sustenance, got him the connection to sustenance. So when we connect to sustenance, it's interesting that also the 3rd sentence of the Ana Bekoach, those of you who know, there's a 3rd sentence correspond with Tiferet, which has one of in the sequences of Ana Bekoach of the 3rd sentence is Nun Gimel Dalet, which also connect us to a realm of Zan Parnasa, of sustenance. How we connect to that? How we connect to sustenance is like when we trust the light of the Creator. When we trust the light of the Creator, therefore we do action, not just action of regular sharing. As when we do an action of contribution, when we exchange energy with the light of the Creator, we open in more of the connection to sustenance. And another sequence here is Ain Resh Yud, which is certainty. I think it goes without saying that this is so needed when we want to create the balance in our life. when maybe we have sometimes those doubts, we don't know where to go, what to do, we're in front of the Dead Sea, what will happen, we have no solution, have certainty. The one person out of the all Israelites that stood next to the sea was a 13-year-old boy. His name is Nachshon ben Amminadab, that had the certainty to enter the ocean. And as he entered the ocean, he knew that the miracle will take place. And it did. The water departed. The following sequence is Ayin Shin Lamed. So if we want to connect to the realm of Tiferet and we want to connect to the energy of Jacob, is how is that we can, Ayin Shin Lamed is like global transformation. How with our small little actions, we understand that it's affecting the world around us, in the greater realm, in the greater aspect of the world. What is that do we understand? Do we really understand that our action makes a difference? Do we really understand, even like, it's like a butterfly effect. You have probably heard about this, right? Everything that we do in our life, how we know, like how we have the certainty that every action that we do touch people's life, makes wave somewhere else. Ayin Shin Lamed. And another sequence is Mem Yud Hey, the power of unity. In order to connect to the realm of Tiferet, is to constantly bring the unification into our life. As I mentioned earlier, when it's come to Chesed, to mercy, and you see how this combination like bring together the mercy and the Gevurah and judgment as balance. So Mem Yud Hey is like the unification part. How we being not just with opinion, with people, how we are not separating ourselves. Separating ourselves maybe based on our correction. Sometimes we feel that when we're in a group, we're not connected to the people that we're in this group, or the group of friends, or even with our own family. We may feel not belonging. This is like one of our correction. When we not feel belong, it's like, what is that? How we can change this particular belief system, not to fall into all the time being lonely or alone in our life, because when we do that, we're separating ourselves from people, and our essence or our desire is constantly to be part, right? To take part. So how we overcome in our own correction of identifying our loneliness as being the Achilles heel, or if I can say that, the thing that we need to correct. And Mem Yud Hey can support us. And the last combination that correspond and relate to the realm of Tiferet is Vav Hey Vav, and this Vav Hey Vav relates to happiness. So in order to really achieve a true happiness, a true internal inner tranquility, inner peace, happiness is a work. Happiness is a merit that we earn from the light of the Creator. Happiness is being content with what we have, with appreciation of what we have, with loving ourselves with our own limitation. We know our perfection with everything that we need to work on. It's to connect to the realm of happiness. Happiness is like when we disconnect from happiness, is I'm not happy today. Let's say I'm saying to myself, I'm not happy today. What does it mean? It means that we are disconnected from the light. We're disconnected from the whole system of the universe. We're separating ourselves from that. So how we can bring balance into our life? Happiness doesn't have to be all like dancing all day and like having big huge party and whatever. Happiness is an inner peace, completion, like Jacob represent completion, wholeness. Okay, these are the three realms that I wanted to share with you about today: Chesed, Gevurah, and Tiferet, and the related correspondent 72 name that can help us and support us more in connecting to those realms. Next week, we're going to continue with the three lower realms of the Zeir Anpin, which is Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and we'll continue forward. If you have any question about this session, if you would like to share anything, please feel free to contact me at Rachel.Madar@Kabbalah.com. If you want to know more about your personal 72 name, you're welcome to contact me for a service I provide about reading about the personal 72 name. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, and looking forward to seeing you next time.